For me, working out of doors is what painting is all about, because it's not just about turning out the most perfect picture. It's about really trying to capture the atmosphere. When I go out on location, I might see something, and by the time I get set up, it might be completely changed. So you have to be prepared for this, and can be kind of frustrating. But I try to do the best I can under the conditions, because painting out of doors has this kind of instantaneous kind of spontaneity that you just can't get in the studio, obviously, because you're more relaxed probably in the studio. While you're painting plein air, you have to be aware of the light changing, which you got yourself maybe an hour and a half to get a picture down, and by the time you're set up, like I said, the scene that you're actually trying to get down on canvas might be completely different. For me, standing out painting on location gives me a feeling of a great buzz, kind of high, you might say. So I actually paint without my glasses, so that I won't be seeing too many details. I don't want my paintings to look too perfect, because you really want to be able to look at something and see the process actually in the painting. That's important for me to be able to. I actually love looking at my pictures afterwards and seeing all the so-called mistakes, what things, and wondering how I actually got there. It's really good. But also the feeling of being out in the open air is and the sound of the birds and the wind and the elements all around me. It's not just about actually trying to get a picture down, it's actually being out in nature, and I can make a day out of it. I leave the house maybe say around 11 o'clock in the morning, and I can actually, by the time I get somewhere and get set up and capture the scene, and get packed up and head home, I find that maybe I might have spent 2 or 3, 4 hours, and so I can actually make a kind of a picnic out of it, just one painting. And then I like to keep my pictures, and I have them all over the house. They're everywhere, and each painting, it's like looking at a family album or a photo album of my life, so to speak, where I can actually, every single painting has a little story to tell. I remember maybe something might have happened in the scene to disrupt the painting process, or I might meet somebody started talking to me, and as soon as I look at the picture, or look at the painting, I can remember that instant, and it seems to be, it's kind of magical. It's like looking at, like I said, photos in an album of my life, so to speak. So I try to hold on to my pictures as much as I can. I don't like to sell my best ones. I keep them in the house. With the result, I have hundreds of pictures that I just don't want to sell. I hope I've explained myself, or made it a bit interesting for you, because people have asked me, how do I approach painting plein air, painting out of doors. It's no different than there's thousands of people paint outdoors, and we all have probably more or less the same feelings and the same attitude towards it. It's just my way of I just explain my way of how I approach it. And if you've got a few tips from looking at what I've done, that's great. And I hope you enjoy this video. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. And thank you.